Hello. I hope this week's live goes a little better than last week's. I'm camped out on my bedroom floor because I have a tiny girl that's homesick today, so we'll see how this goes. But I wanted to talk today about, well, first there's another Redefining Happiness workshop coming up. This one is closer to downtown Salt Lake. A friend of mine that has a counseling practice, Red Willow Counseling and Recovery, is lending us his space, so we get to meet there, which will be great. And we are going to be talking about happiness again, and I've been thinking a lot about it lately because I have been witness to so much suffering, and I feel like at this point right now in this moment my life is pretty good. Everything is kind of running smoothly, minus some tendinitis, but I have been witnessing things like cancer and miscarriage and severe depression and chronic illness and chronic pain, and people close to me just really in the depths of suffering. And I've been wondering and looking at, like, what is the relationship? If our goal in life is to be happy, right? That's generally what we're looking for. How does that fit with these things we can't control, like cancer, like a miscarriage, like, having an autoimmune disease? And so I think it's important that we analyze and we look at what is happiness. How do we define it? And if it's dependent on us having these positive feelings all the time, and we're supposed to feel good, and things are just supposed to go our way, and circumstances are all supposed to be smooth and nice, then what happens when they aren't? Does that mean we have to sacrifice our happiness? Does that mean when things aren't good that we then let go and we just give in and say, well, I guess happiness isn't for me? And I want to challenge you that that is not true, that there is a duality in life where those two things can coexist, that we can have this sort of foundation of happiness, and we can also be in suffering, because that's part of being a human, right? Like, things happen, things that we can't control. And so, that's one of the reasons why I think this foundational workshop, and this is a series of 4, this Redefining Happiness is the foundation, because if we don't know what happiness is, how can we find it, right? If we haven't taken the time to actually look and question, how do I define happiness? And do I actually agree with it, right? Because if it's the cars and the money and the job and the income, all those things are external. And if we don't have those, does that mean we don't get to be happy? Does that mean only rich, wealthy people with a boat get to be happy? So anyway, I'm really excited to talk more about this. And then the following workshops will build on it. We'll be talking about boundaries and generosity. We'll be talking about expectations. We'll be talking about authenticity. All of these things are what sort of create happiness. But this first one is so important because we have to know what it is if we want to find it. So anyway, stay tuned. I hope you can join me. So it's going to be next Tuesday, February 5th. I know it's on Tuesday night. So it's from 7 to 9 downtown Salt Lake. There's an event link on my page, and I'll try to post it here also. But I would really love for you to join me and come talk about this. And then I think there's also going to be a Facebook group for follow-up after, because one thing that's really important to me is that you don't just hear something and think, oh, that's great, and then it's out of your mind as soon as it enters, right? As soon as you walk out the door of the workshop, then it's back to real life and the struggle, and we just don't have time to sit and think and really let these things become a part of our lives. And so there'll be an option for a Facebook group, and I'm not exactly sure what that looks like yet, but I'm in the middle of sort of working out the details of that, because I really want this to be something that becomes a part of your life, not just something that you hear once and thought, oh, that was great, and on to the next thing. So anyway, I hope you have a fantastically lovely week that is tendinitis free, and I will talk to you soon.